Colin Kaepernick apparently reached out to Nike and got them to pull an American flag shoe. When I first heard this story, I thought someone was joking. I swear to God. Someone said, "Hey, did you hear about this?" I said, "No way, dude. That's a lie. There's no way somebody would be so salty as to get an American flag shoe pulled from stores, nor would Nike be so dumb as to do it. It's a shoe with the American flag on it." Well, they did. Wow. Talk about being a whiny, just awful person. From the Wall Street Journal, Nike nixes Betsy Ross flag sneaker after Colin Kaepernick intervenes. Sneaker maker pulls Independence Day themed shoe after NFL star raises concerns about symbolism. It's the American flag. Wow. I really couldn't believe. Can you believe this? It sounds I swear to God, it sounds like some conservative person made this up to smear Colin Kaepernick, except it's in the Wall Street Journal with two different reporters on it, and apparently the shoe's been pulled. He actually did this. Talk about being man, I don't want to swear. But yeah, what a bad person. What a really bad person, okay? It's Independence Day coming up. The shoe, hey, I wouldn't buy it. Now I kind of want to. Now it's a collector's item. Okay, apparently it's the flag with the 13 stars for the original colonies, the birth of our nation. And they're mad. It's offensive. I kid you not. And the Wall Street Journal even tells a story about other people who have been gotten in trouble or something for waving the original flag at a high school. I don't know. It's so insane. They're saying the original flag is offensive because of the era it came from. There's a ton of bad stuff from the past. We're not going to throw away everything because some things were bad at some point in time. We want to remember the good things. I tell you what, the United States ended slavery. The United States passed civil rights law. That flag symbolizes the creation of a liberal democracy, and no, that doesn't mean left-leaning. It means freedom and liberty for all. I know we're not a democracy, we're a republic, but liberal democracy refers to our democratic institutions and freedom at the individual level. That's what that flag symbolizes. It symbolizes that there was the birth of a nation, and over time, we said we will protect the civil rights of people. We weren't perfect in the beginning, but we have progressed to the point where more and more people are protected under the Constitution with their civil liberties. That's what the flag represents, the beginning of a point in time where you could live in a country that legalized gay marriage, that ended slavery, that has done these things to progress civil rights. Are we the best in the world? Well, you can make arguments about Europe and other countries. Fine. The point is, we've done good. We have. Things are better today. They look at this and they see negativity. And so what happens? I kid you not, Colin Kaepernick intervenes. Before we read this, head over to timcast.com/donate if you'd like to support my work. YouTube has dramatically reduced suggestions for my content, so I rely on you to share these videos if you really like it, or support me through timcast.com/donate, but it's up to you. Let's get back to the story. Nike Inc. is yanking a USA-themed sneaker featuring an early American flag after NFL star turned activist Colin Kaepernick told the company it shouldn't sell a shoe with a symbol that he and others consider offensive, according to people familiar with the matter. Are you kidding me? You're offended by the American flag. Too bad. I'm not. I want the shoe. I didn't want the shoe before, but now I want it. Look, so in my van, okay, the van is built. I'm trying to figure out, I want to get it to a nice point where I can do a video about it. But we have pillows on the bed, the American flag's on it. And one of them says, "The land I love," or something like that. They're just silly Walmart pillows. I didn't even buy them, but I kid you not. When I posted these photos, I got comments from people saying, "Why are you putting the American flag in your van?" I'm like, is this a joke? Because I live in America. Because I like America. I've been around the world. There's, if you really want to show people why America's great, just have them travel the world. And then they come back and they go, "Wow, America's pretty awesome." Let's read. The sneaker giant created the Air Max 1 USA in celebration of the July 4th holiday, and it was slated to go on sale this week. The heel of the shoe featured a U.S. flag with 13 stars in a circle, a design created during the American Revolution and commonly referred to as the Betsy Ross flag. After shipping the shoe to retailers, Nike asked for them to be returned without explaining why, the people said. The shoes aren't available on Nike's own apps and websites. Nike has chosen not to release the Air Max 1 Quick Strike 4th of July as it featured the old version of the American flag, a Nike spokesman said. After images of the shoe were posted online, Mr. Kaepernick, a Nike endorser, reached out to company officials saying that he and others felt the Betsy Ross flag is an offensive symbol because of its connection to an era of slavery, the people said. Some users on social media responded to posts about the shoe with similar concerns. Mr. Kaepernick declined to comment. The design was created in the 1770s to represent the 13 original colonies, though there were many early versions of the American flag, according to the Smithsonian. In the 1790s, stars and bars were added to reflect the addition of Vermont and Kentucky as states. U.S. flag designs continued to change as states were admitted into the Union until the 50th star was added for Hawaii. Check this out. In 2016, the superintendent of a Michigan school district apologized after students waved the Betsy Ross flag at a high school football game, saying that for some it is a symbol of white supremacy and nationalism, according to MLive.com, a local news outlet. While the flag's use isn't widespread, the local chapter of the NAACP said at the time that it has been appropriated by some extremist groups opposed to America's increasing diversity. I don't care who's using it or why. That's the original American flag, a symbol of the creation of our country, which we all should be loving so dear. I think it's really funny. There was a joke on Family Guy, I remember, where I think they were listening to it was a spoof on Hannity and Colmes or something, where one of the Fox News guys is like, liberals hate America. They hate America. And this is something I've heard a lot. Like when I was growing up, Republicans saying that liberals hate America. And then the liberals always push back saying, no, we don't. We love America. We want to change. Like, hold on, man. We can talk about progress all day and night. But when you want to tear down symbols of the creation of the country, I have to question what your true motives are. Getting the American flag shoe removed because it's offensive, to me, is beyond insane. Beyond insane. It's the American flag. It exists, period. What are you going to do? You're going to remove pictures of Thomas Jefferson? Time to take down the Thomas Jefferson statue. He was a slave owner. You're going to take down George Washington? All these people are historical figures. That's where we're heading. I can't, I would have said before, it's hyperbolic, it's nonsense. But like I said, when I heard the story, I laughed and I'm like, no, he didn't. Colin Kaepernick did not get the American flag shoe pulled from store. He did. I have no idea. I am not a conservative. I have never been a conservative. I am a fairly moderate left-leaning individual, and I can say it for the billionth time. But as somebody who believes in social justice, who thinks that systemic racism in this country is a problem that can be solved, this is not that. This is like souring good things, positive symbols, for the sake of destruction as far as I'm concerned. This in no way advances civil rights. It's divisive, and it tears apart. It is damaging to social cohesion. One guy said, I don't want this. And so Nike says, okay, no more American flag. That, to me, is insane. If you don't like the shoe, don't buy it. They weren't going to buy it in the first place. That's the thing. We see this all the time with social justice outrage, authoritarianism. They weren't going to buy your product. Why change for them? It's like video games. People who don't play video games complain about it, so they change the game, and then nobody wants to buy it. This, to me, is insane. Now, I can't go as far as to say this will be a get woke, go broke. We'll see. But I got to say, man, this, for me, is like, you know what, Nike? I never liked you in the first place because of your child labor fiascos. You know what I mean? But if there was ever... Look, there are some good Nike skate shoes, and I've considered buying them. That'll never happen, okay? For those that aren't familiar with skateboarding, one of the most important things you can have is a good pair of shoes because you're using them on the board and they get destroyed very quickly. Nike entered skateboarding, 15 or so years ago, like a while ago, and it was controversial. It was very controversial. But they did put out some pretty good shoes. You know what? At this point, I don't care. I want to have nothing to do with what you're doing. In fact, I'm going to see... No, I'm not going to go that far. Let's read. They say that Mr. Kaepernick, 31, last played for the NFL in 2016. The season he began kneeling on the field during the national anthem to call attention to social injustices and racial inequality. The former San Francisco 49ers quarterback has gone unsigned since, along with former teammate Eric Reed. In February, settled collusion grievances that alleged the league and its teams conspired to keep them unsigned because of their outspoken political views. The settlement was for less than $10 million, the Wall Street Journal reported. I don't know a whole lot about that, but I will say this. This guy is a toxic, toxic brand. And I gotta say, after this, I'd be really surprised if anybody wants to do any kind of campaign with him, albeit like a small campaign for a specifically like social justice oriented thing. Like, Splinter News and BuzzFeed might hire him to do like a video segment or something. But I think this is the nail in the coffin. What is the point of a celebrity? And what is the point of, personality? It's to sell products. Plain and simple. There are, this is one of the reasons why you have a lot of celebrities who don't want to get involved in politics, because I think it was Michael Jordan who said he didn't want to play politics because Republicans buy shoes too. And you recognize that there are political differences in this country, but for the most part, look, we're all Americans here. And if you want to make something that works for people, you don't want to tell half of the people of this country it's not for them. This is totally different. This is Nike saying we're going to make a shoe to show patriotism and, the 4th of July. That flag is a symbol of the 4th of July. It is the Day of Independence. That's what that flag symbolizes. They have quite literally got a shoe pulled celebrating the independence of the United States. That's crazy. That's so crazy to me. I can't even. I'm at a loss for words. Other than saying I'm at a loss for words, I don't know how to describe how insane this story is, and it's trending in the United States. I think it's number 2 and like number 8. Colin Kaepernick and Nike are trending, and it's mostly people shocked. Like, are you kidding me? Let's read a little bit of this. They say, he was made the face of an advertising campaign while he was still engaged in the dispute with the league, a risky move considering Nike's roles as one of the NFL's biggest partners. The campaign generated backlash among some consumers who began torching Nike shoes and cutting its swoosh logo out of its gear. The protests were countered by expression of support for Nike. I love it. I love how these left-wing activists are like this massive multinational corporation that hires children or did hire children to make their shoes. That's the beacon of social justice. What a world, huh? Since the ad was released, Nike has posted higher sales, boosted by strong demand in both the US and China. I don't think that is anything. I would say this. I think they're doing well in spite of hiring Kaepernick. He's a divisive figure. It's not a positive thing to do. It generated attention for your brand. Most people didn't care. They're going to buy your shoes anyway because they're, you've got relatively inexpensive mall shoes for Nike. I'll tell you what, though. This is a real kick in the groin. Getting rid of the American flag shoe for the 4th of July? That's insane. I am flabbergasted. They say at least some of the USA-themed shoes have already made their ways to sneaker enthusiasts. Versions of the Air Max 1 were changing hands on sneaker reselling site StockX for as much as $500 on Monday, according to the site. After this journal article was published, the price fluctuated, with one pair fetching as much as $2,000 and another as little as $140. You know what, man? Final thought. I seriously thought this was fake. I seriously thought this was a fake story. When you talk about fake news, right, there was a big trend of right-wing fake news because it's really easy to make right-wing rage bait. I've talked to people about really simple examples of stories that are easily faked. You write something about, like, Black Lives Matter obstructing a highway and there's like an ambulance, and you say, like, somebody in the ambulance lost their life because of the protesters. It's really easy to make those fake. It's a fake story. It's an example of a fake story designed to generate outrage. It's really easy to do. What the left was doing for their rage bait, their fake articles, was you find a story and you stretch it to frame it in a way that makes it outrageous. That way you can always hide behind plausible deniability. Oh, no, it's true. We just think of it this way. And then you see like Al Jazeera Plus, BuzzFeed, Huffington Post, cranking out these manipulative rage bait articles for traffic. On the right side, you had total con artists. Like, literally. They had these ridiculous fake websites called like, American Liberty for Patriots.news. And it would just be fake news, and they would try and make them go viral on Facebook, targeting like boomers and older people who didn't know better and would share the story. It would make a lot of money for them. This story is perfect rage bait for conservatives. Who the hell is going to believe it's such a perfect storm? Colin Kaepernick, who triggered this big protest of, from kneeling, conservatives got mad. Then he did the Nike ad, and then people burned stuff. Intervened to get an American flag shoe removed. You cannot make this stuff up. What is going on? It's like you know what? The simulation is real. We are living in a simulation, and the simulation strikes again. I'm kidding, by the way. I'm just so shocked at how perfect of an outrage story this is. Why would Colin Kaepernick do this? You gotta be a real a-hole to call up a company and say, take down your 4th of July shoe. And you got to be really dumb as a company to be like, okay, and do it. Man, I don't even, I'll leave it there. Stick around. The next segment will be coming up at 1 p.m., and I will see you all then.